Hey, we back for another one. What y'all got going? Man, it is going it's gonna be a it's gonna be a low dollar production tonight. I'm telling you what, I just have had I can't even believe I'm as prepared as I am now. Turn the page. What's up, baby? Kitlin, what's up, baby? How y'all doing? Lila, good to see ya. What's up, baby? Tish, what's up? No lies. Hey, girl. Ain't seen you in a minute. You ain't been in it. I hope you're doing well. So, let me tell y'all, ladies, man. Little Dad, what's up, baby? Deborah, good to see you. Good to see you. Shannon and Shenanigans. Well, I do apologize for that because I don't remember. Mama Nani, Blue Eyes, what's happening, y'all? What's going on? Breaking news. I'm still him. Tammy from Texas, what's up, baby? Hey, say, yeah, it's still me. I'm just, I turned the vulgar down. You dig? L Kennedy, what's up, baby? Well, thank you. Thank you, no lies. I sure appreciate you. Brooke, what's happening? Girl, she's on the porch right now, causing a ruckus. Lipster, what's happening, baby? Yeah, no, she runs the house now. She absolutely runs this house. I do believe I know who you are, Shannon. Yes. I don't remember having a disagreement with you, but I am willing to make an amends. Whatever I said that was distasteful or unbecoming, I do apologize fully and from the bottom of my heart. Heather Mack, what's up, baby? Good to see you. Yeah, I've been back for what, ladies? Almost 2 months. Well, yeah, 7 weeks maybe. Regina, what's up, baby? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining us, L. Kennedy. So tonight, woo-wee. Hey, Jankies, good to see you, baby. How's the restaurant business, baby? I hope it's well. Thank you for joining us. Carry on. Yeah, we got Jankies in the house. She's a real celebrity out here on these streets. You dig? Is it, no lies? I sure hope so. Because if I don't bring nothing to the table, I can't sit around it, right? Lil Deb, I'm good. Dreamer, good to see you. Good to see you. Lee Lapish, or is it Lapish? Lapish, I think. Man, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I keep it to myself because people think I'm lying. How are you? I'm good. I'm super blessed. Boy, life really has either way. Okay, well, we'll just call you Lee. How about that? Um, yeah, no, complain. What's that? I ain't got nothing to complain about. Hey, Jenna, good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, I think that I'm probably doing as good as I ever have. I just, you know, keep picking them up and putting them down. Hey, Linda, good to see you. I do think hair curlers. Hey, did you? No, it wasn't an email. It was a comment. I was commenting to you, and then you know what? I got called away, and when I came back, it had timed out. So I'm gonna get to you though. Hey, Sarah Silva, good to see you, baby. Thank you, Miss Jenkins. Yeah, I'm new and improved. I'm new and improved. I'm not, I did a whole overhaul. You know what I mean? The bottom of the block, the top of the block, tranny, everything. Hey, Miss Fletcher, good to see you, baby. Carla, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Eyes on the prize. Yo, 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 yo. So tonight, I asked in the community tab, I was like, would it be cliche? And, a lot of you know about my situation, right? And so I feel like Really gonna kind of tiptoe. Tiptoe. Thank you. Thank you, Blue Eyes. Linda Lou, what's up, baby? Yeah, I'm gonna tiptoe around my situation. However, you'll be able to tell that be able to bring some parallels. Thank you, Miss Regina. Um, yeah, Miss Fletcher, and that's really what I intend to bring because, and of course, you know me, we're gonna do some vocab too. Freebird, hey, uh, thank you, Hair Curlers and Crime, for joining us. So, I want to start out by saying that I first got introduced to hidden true crime. Hey, Kat, I know that's Cericia. I already know. What's that, Miss Cericia? Okay, I'm gonna get to it. So if I miss anybody, I'll catch you on the way out. So I got introduced to hidden true crime. Oh, when was it? I guess it was probably Lori Vallow, and then on the TV watched a little bit of the Delphi stuff, right? And even then, there was sort of hey, Ernie, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, thank you. I hope I'm I don't want to butcher your name. You guys, I hate Corinne. Good to see you. Sandy, hello. Thank you, everybody. Everybody. Freebird, all of y'all. So thank you, Regina. Thank you. And I got introduced to her back then, and I felt like, you know, I was sort of mixed, right? Saint Elmo, what's up, baby? I can't stop. I can't stop. Okay, because I feel so bad. It's like if I don't say hello to somebody to say hello to me, man, it just eats me up inside. You know what I mean? You have no lies. No lies been around for a long time. Long time. Shoot, at least about 4 years. And we haven't always just seen eye to eye, but we sure, that we can adult, right? We can adult. Anyway, so I am gonna push forward now, if that's okay with everybody. So I felt like there was just beach pump. Golly, hey baby, good to see you. Good to see you. And I want to tell you, I'm not like. Did you guys hear about the cop? I think it was a Detroit cop, right? This fool is like doing a Zoom. He's doing a Zoom. He testified on Zoom, right? Jennifer Lopez. It's Jenny from the block. You understand me? Jax, hello, hello, hello. Wait now, hello. This cop, he's testifying on Zoom, and he ain't got no pants on. He's only got the cop sippy. Only got the cop shirt on. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got suit slacks on. You know what I'm saying? I just want to look relaxed on top. Hey, Bree, good to see you. So I am. I swear they are. Let me say it real quick. The ladies at the office, they call these my Britney Spears. You can't really see it, but they got a real glitter to them. They're my Britney Spears slacks. I ain't lying. You live in Michigan. Great. Pants are hot. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, this is the way I'm living right here. I got all my ties hanging up, my white shirts. Like I turn into Superman, baby. You understand me? That phone rings, turn into Clark Kent. You dig? Okay, so moving forward, I hope everyone sufficiently feels welcome. Thank you. Carla, but Benny and the Jets. All right. So, all right, glittering gold. You gotta see me, boy. I'm like twinkle toes when I move. right? Because some days I wear the old wingtips. You know what I mean? I wear the wingtips, but I ain't even showed y'all these. Some days I wear the gaiters. This here, my friend, is hornback caiman. Yeah, hornback caiman. I get my real countrified on. You dig? So, moving forward. Yeah. Boss got me them. Yep. So I can step real big. Oh yeah, I'm fancy. Yeah, hornback caiman, baby. Tragedy pimps exposed. Oh, no, I hope I ain't in the crosshair, baby. I know I didn't get it. I'm gonna watch it, but I didn't want to watch yours before I did mine because I just didn't want your intelligence to influence me in any way. Right. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to her. And then, the title, the bandwagon, right? I don't want a bandwagon. I want to kind of be able to float through it and then kind of catch other people's stuff. I initially said, yeah, I ain't touching that. Right. So what we're thank you, TPE. Because I ain't doing no pimping, baby. We are pimp free over here. So I got exposed to Lauren kind of early on, and even from the onset of me, okay, all right, yeah, I know that. I think everyone here can affirmatively say that if TPE grabs a hold of something, and this isn't a shameless plug, this is just the truth. If TPE grabs a hold of something, it's definitely going to be a situation worth watching because I think that TPE really sort of embodies the ability to really define one as a tragedy pimp, right? Thank you. Absolutely, love. I sure appreciate it. Thank you, Regina. So from the very onset, like I didn't watch a lot of the Valo stuff. I watched some. I watched a little bit of the coverage of Delphi, and I was just like, this lady here, like she's got people waiting in line for her, and it's having people do favors for you like that, to me always seemed sort of clout based, right? There's some other creators that will also do things of that nature, right? They don't have a problem people putting themselves out for them, and I get it, right? It's a big money production over there if you let Lauren. Yes, ma'am, always. What's up, Sierra? I see you. Good to see you in the house. Thank you, TPE. So I was sort of on the fence. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out when I watched her back then, right? And when all of this stuff started popping off, I was like, oh boy, here we go, right? Like it's the piranhas just nipping at the water's surface, right? Just yap, sharks, right? And I was like, I'm going to stay away from that because of the nature of what's going on with what was going on with the situation, right? And I want to really start off by saying that, I didn't know the lady's name was Christine until tonight because Lauren only refers to her as stalker on there, right? Which I feel like is an interesting, it's duplicit in a way because that's Lauren's wish is for that lady to be a stalker, I believe, right? However, in the eyes of the court, like she's not. You understand what I'm saying? Also, as I understand it, when it comes to civil situations, I don't want to speak on the criminal side. Maybe at some point we'll get to that, but on the civil side, it's extremely easy to get a TPO, right? Essentially, if you file for one, you're going to get it. Then they're going to, they're just to be safe. Everyone's got to go to their corner. And then, we're moving forward for the permanent, right? Now, I get the hint throughout the course of the thing that really that stuff on the civil side is like the least of her concern. The right, absolutely. TP. I did not know her name was Christina until Casey K told me when we were on the phone before this. So that at this point is defaming, right? It's actually defamation to call Christine, or is it Christina, a stalker when there's no order, right? So, in my opinion, what I feel like what the play was that she was trying to transition this into the criminal court, because we understand in some cases in the civil court, civil cases can have a criminal penalty, right? So, although it's in the civil realm, it also, in terms of crime con, turns into a criminal penalty if in Christina is within 500 feet, right? 500 and 499, 500 feet, right? So, um, one of the things that I found very interesting about the whole thing is that Christina lives in Nevada or Utah. Lauren lives in Nevada. It seemed very clout based and on online to really try to shame and embarrass Christina to have her served right in Colorado. Okay. Um, Now I can tell you in any of the stuff that I've navigated in the past, I've never had. And let me say this: the same thing that Lauren's trying to do or try to do to Christina is the same thing Smiley Stories try to do to me. Right? I did not have police come to my house and serve me. Right? I was served via certified mail. Right? So I did have police come and drop off a discovery. The county sheriff dropped off her discovery, right? So what happens in this situation is you have someone, and let's do a little vocab right here, right? You just does she scream main character to anyone else? Right? If you're not aware, main character syndrome, as defined by Google AI, main character syndrome is a term for a mindset where a person views themselves as a protagonist of their own life, often to the detriment of others, leading to a self centered and attention seeking behavior. Right? It is not a clinical diagnosis, but a soliloquial term for social media that describes a belief that their life is a movie and others are just supporting characters. Signs include an inflated sense of self, a lack of empathy, and romanticizing or dramatizing their experiences, right? And it goes on down through what actually are actual diagnoses, right? Self-centeredness, attention seeking, dramatization, lack of empathy, and inflated sense of self. Now, the one thing that I also garnered from it, moving chronologically. Now, I did a little, I guess, a little teaser video earlier where I said I won't be moving chronologically because to me, this isn't necessarily a story that you have to go from A to Z or from 0 to 9 hours, right? And what I have is as I was listening, I would tap the screen, the time would come up, and I would screenshot it. So the way that it's going to play out is in no way chronological because I move back and forth. I listened to some of it while I was asleep, woke up and re-listened to it. So the one thing that I really felt was awkward was the whole serving her at CrimeCon, right? Where there's an audience, in that environment, right? Lauren can really make herself look like a victim, right? There's many things throughout the course of it as well. Even a situation um, where Lauren initiated a first contact with this woman after allegedly the case was filed, right? So there's a lot of moving parts, and so let's just jump right in, right? I believe that it's gonna, and I can't see the chat for anybody who may be having questions. What I feel is pertinent is to run about the first 9 minutes, And in the first 9 minutes, even there's just a wealth of issue, right? So we're gonna listen to the first 9 minutes, and then I'm gonna jump around. I have about 8 or 9 um, points that I'd like to discuss, and because I don't have any notes really or anything, when I go to the timestamp, I'm gonna let it play, and then I have all of the stuff stored here, right? We'll just say that. So without further ado, we are going to be on 125. If that's a little fast for anyone, maybe you catch the replay and you can slow it down for her part. 125 is a pretty standard fast forward mode for everyone. Actually, I can see the discussion area now. Okay. Agreed, Benny. She really makes herself the victim and uses victims when she can. She's a name dropper. Absolutely. Yeah, she's definitely a name dropper. And before we get started, I want to say that, Duty Ron, when he came on the scene, Duty Ron, he actually got involved in the Cal City Boys out of California City. And back then, so many of us were brand new to it. Back then, the Duty Ron that you see now, well, the Duty Ron pre-Lauren, right? The Duty Ron pre-Lauren was actually a guy that would get involved in some drama, right? Very few may remember that, but I know TPE, well, there's a host of other people that will remember that. He wasn't a bit above it, right? So I've heard commentary where some people are basically saying, shame on Lauren for how, either agreeing to going on his channel, or maybe however it really happened. Maybe there was a meeting of the minds and she's like, hey, you seem like a very legitimate outlet. Let's use your platform, to sort of make my plight, so to speak. Right. So, and I understand, Duty Ron is actually, he's being raked over the coals in some microcosms of the community. Right now, can anyone, TPE, correct me if I'm wrong, she had like 419,000 subscribers, right? Is that correct? Yeah, TPE. Yeah. He wasn't a bit. I mean, in fact, I got into it with Duty Ron a couple of times when we were all sort of in the same food chain. As I remember, I want to say she's lost 2,000 subscribers since this morning. Now, I want to say she was at 419 and now she's at 317. So you do the math, right? She has lost a slew of subscribers. And yeah, I want to say she's lost close to 100,000 subscribers at this point. I heard someone say, oh, she's only lost, or who was it? Was it Chasing? Maybe Chasing said a few days ago that she had thought maybe she lost 3,000. And I think that, yes, Lulu, the people have spoken. The people have spoken. And I do believe she's lost close to 100,000 at this point. So let's go ahead and get started. You live in a bubble.
Hey, everyone.
Now, let's just start off by saying you fear for your life. However, you're going to come on here and 9 hours is not poking the bear. Can we all agree? It's an F load. Yes. This is not poking the bear, right? Poking the bear is, I think, what a lot of us have seen, folks do with Jody Sue's words, or, what I used to maybe, I didn't even really poke the bear with Ernie Shell. I really was, trying to shoot the bear and, moving forward from that. But this is not poking the bear, right? This is not, I'm afraid for my life. This is not a meek undertone that she's bringing. This is like a trumpet at 3 a.m., right? This is a trumpet at 3 a.m. And she's look at her face. Her face right now says it all. She's staring like I can't even look her in the eyes. Don't look at me like that, Lauren. I haven't done anything yet. Moving forward.
I've never been more nervous for.
Girl, you making me nervous. Like my hands is getting tacky. You know what I'm saying? Like you making me nervous. Hey, what's up? What's up, Auntie Sherry? Say, baby, good to see you, baby.
Alive in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives or a show in my entire life. And this,
I'll agree. You putting on a show, Queen. Straight up. You you putting on a show. Beth McKee coming through with the $20 super chat, baby. You know we appreciate your contribution, Queen. It means the world to us. It means the world to us. I don't know what the mixture is, but I'm guessing it's 4 or 5 different pills. Like it's a pharmacy. Thank you, Beth. I love you from the bottom of my heart, Queen. You know I do. Thank you so much. Few bricks short of a load. Yeah, now I don't know if there's any benzos involved here. If there's not, maybe there should be. I don't know. Like I saw her in the bed, and it was like, you know what I mean? Like, did she wet it? I don't know. Yeah, no. Let's bring it all straight to YouTube, right? Body cams, all the stuff, right? So let's get it going here. We only 20 seconds in.
is not a live or a show that I ever wanted to do.
Girl, you ain't putting on no shows no more. You know what this is? This is a dismal story about a lackluster relationship with people that really were here to support you, your counterparts. There was a lot of people at one time that used to really look up to you, Lauren. Like you were somebody to a lot of people. And now these meager channels that you talk about throughout the course of this thing, the small channels that no one's really, quote unquote, verbatim, these small channels that no one's watching anyways, like you finna turn into that. I promise you finna turn into that.
Or I thought I would have to do.
Hey, Mamacita.
And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama. Hidden true crime.
Lie number 1. Everybody agree? That's the first lie.
Doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that. And those of you that know us know that. So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life what has been going on with my family and with me for months.
Now, let's just keep it real. The only person that has went real life is Lauren. Lauren has sent police. She's sent lawyers. She's got judges involved. She wants to get DA, detectives, jailers, beat patrol cops. Like this other lady, what has she done? She stopped talking to Lauren when they bumped into each other at trials. In addition to that, she shared some texts, right? This is Lauren's best attempt to in the Army, when it's really going down, like a soldier it used to be a soldier would jump on a grenade to save the platoon, right? This lady is looking for somebody to jump on it for her, right? Counting contradictions. That's a good name for a rock or alternative rock band. Counting contradictions. She's the one that's went real life. The other gal, it's been completely cyber-based, right? The shunning and all of the things that she says she thinks is happening to her, she's actually done to Christina, right? And the fact that she'll use the word defamation. Why don't you sue her then? Why don't you sue her and then do all this TPO stuff, right? Because when she went real life. The other gal has not went real life. Showing up at CrimeCon to a convention that you paid for tickets months in advance is not stalking. It's keeping up with your obligation. You were obliged to show up there because you paid, right? However, this lady is trying to embarrass and have her shunned in front of her colleagues, no matter what size the channel is. It doesn't matter, right? Moving forward.
That I decided to go to where I felt would protect me.
Sherry, you're right. But guess what? It's impossible if you're trying to sue somebody for telling the truth about you. It'll never see a fingernail. It'll never see a fingernail width of time in court at all. Hey, Kaz, I'm so glad you could join us. You cannot sue somebody for telling the truth about you, even if they tell the truth and use the F word or GD, or you don't like the way it sounds. As long as it's the truth, you can't sue them for it. You can try, but that's why there'll never be a defamation suit, because this lady has told the truth about her, right? The truth. Now, also understanding that this came out, and she certainly aligns herself with is it Miss Woodcock? I'm bad with names. Never faces, only names. She's aligning herself with people who have subsequently come out that she says she supported, but also talked junk about. Miss Woodcock has come out and said, hey, this lady here, she's a snake. But it all happened, it elapsed in a way, right? Kay Woodcock, right. So, yeah, she's aligned herself with Charles Vallow. Rest in peace, right? Like, this woman is, we're going to get to it.
And that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction because what was happening to me and my family.
What she wanted to have happen is she wanted to get the referral from the civil judge to go over to the criminal court, right? Because the criminal penalty for a civil situation in this event is if she were to be in the same room or within 500 feet of Lauren, Christina's going to the clink, right? No questions asked. That's what she wanted. As soon as you breach the TPO in the terms of it, you've got a civil situation and you've got a criminal situation. She sounds constipated.
Met Utah's civil stalking injunction code. The stalker was in Utah.
Mind you, it's all online, right? She done sent, look at that face right there.
And it was very clear to me that
good to see you, Giles.
That was the step that I should take. And I was granted a temporary civil stalking injunction after I filed my evidence and my exhibits before the judge.
That's the other thing. Anyone that's never been involved in a civil injunction, which again, Smiley's story tried to put a civil injunction on me, but also tried to get a referral to a criminal court for a whole different situation. We won't even get into that, right? But in a civil situation, for any John Q or Sally Q citizenry, you represent yourself, right? You represent yourself. Now, a situation like this, she's not representing herself, right? She's got legal money, right? So
that was served, and my stalker was served a temporary civil stalking injunction.
At this point, you might as well call Christina your murderer, because with very little effort other than just some TikTok tomfoolery, I just say that 3 times, TikTok tomfoolery, she's murdered your channel, miss. You're going to have to, you're going to have to bring in one of the FBI's top 10 to fix this mess. This is, say it one more time. You understand me? She is, you could call her whatever you want to at this point. But I would tell you that maybe at some point you might want to take this video down, because the lady actually, you dismissed your own case. Not because of a lack of evidence or because Christina breached the terms of the TPO 3 times, you say, but because law and crime got involved, right? Law and crime. Like, those are your people. I mean, that's your friends in them, right? Sherry, there you go.
Thank God. And the next step to that after filing a civil stalking injunction is to hope to make it permanent. And that was going to be on Thursday. And then do you know what happened?
No, but I bet you're going to tell us.
Somehow, someone decided to let law.
Yes, Tragedy. She tried to say that I exposed myself to her, but she tried to slide it in at the very end of the hearing. And the judge was like, no, 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 no. After I was like, no, 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 judge. She can't email you something that's not a part of a discovery and that I don't have time to prepare a rebuttal for. And the judge is like, yeah, typically I take 24 to 48 hours to render this opinion, but be looking at your email in about 45 minutes. He gave me signs all through the hearing that he knew Smiley was absolutely full of what a dog dumps in the front yard. Moving forward.
In crime. Know about my civil stalking injunction. And Law and Crime decided that they deserved to have cameras in the courtroom.
Well, see, that's the thing about court in America. It's called open court for the most time, unless you're Brandon Lawson, Sheriff Lawson's son. Then you get special prosecutors, a special court. You get a prearranged plea deal for basically no time at all, a little probation, right? Like those, right? Like even Diddy's trial, long as you're there and you walk in and you're not recording, like you could be there, right? It is one of the foundations of the American criminal justice system is the idea that it's open court. You can't decide. You don't get to decide. Right? Who picks and chooses about who gets to see what and this and that. I know you know this, Lauren. Law and Crime, they have people who just scour the internet looking for the next thing, and they know how to file this paperwork to get the access. They get typically, usually, whatever they file for access for, they're going to get it, right? They're going to get it moving forward.
Well, I am explaining what my family has been going through for months. The Law and Crime, I don't know, is it a slow true crime month? They thought.
Not really. I don't think there's ever a slow true crime month. I mean, get it together, Lauren. There's always something happening every day, especially if you live in Houston, Texas. But there's always something going on, right? And this is the kicker right here. The request was granted. So there's an ulterior motive that either we can see, can't see, or unaware of, right? She knows. And guess what? She's not mad at, she wants to openly be vehemently upset with Law and Crime. She's upset with this person right here. That's who she's mad at. This person right here, right? That's who she's mad at. And moving forward, I'm going to save the, I don't want to get worked up. She should touch some grass. She should go in the master bedroom and touch something, because this is the face of a woman.
That my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel.
Let's remain clear, right? Let's remain very clear. Lauren specializes in the cases where there are no cameras so that she can come out and she can give her play-by-play, right? I've seen her do live streams at lunchtime where people are waiting in line for her. I've seen her stream at the hotel. I've seen her stream before. Like, she likes to specialize in those, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? She, like, with there being a camera, there's no need for a Lauren, right? Let's be real about that. There's no need for a Lauren if they've got camera access. So essentially, Law and Order and Hidden True Crime kind of compete against one another, right? Lauren's hoping the big cases have no cameras. That way she can come in and do her thing. But if Law and Crime is able to get access granted to a trial for whatever reason, shouts out to JLR too. JLR disseminated some court hearing audio that he wasn't supposed to. And so now anything from Barry Morphew's case and Suzanne's situation, you'll never hear another word of it, right? Thanks, JLR, for changing the rules when we didn't know they needed to be changed. Yeah, leave it up to JLR. Oh, was it televised? Okay. Well, I think that you'll start to see that motion, though, right? I feel like she's figured out that the real clout comes from the cases that there isn't going to be a camera, right? Moving forward.
I'm a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. And yes, I've become a limited public figure. I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm not Amber Heard. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow. I am a mother trying to protect my family.
Lady, you got more Botox in your face than Gwyneth Paltrow has ever had. Moving forward.
And my little boy. And I am a journalist who has never, ever in my life heard of anyone streaming a civil stalking injunction. Ever. It is not something you do. And why? Because it's someone that is being abused, that is attempting to...
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well. Yeah. So here we go.
Escape something dangerous.
She's been like on the verge of crying, but wants us to think she's been crying. However, like, I'm not convinced.
I never wanted to do this live.
Never wanting to would mean like right about here, you quit, right? You don't go for like another 8 hours and 50 you don't go another 9 hours, right? Yes, no.
But because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction.
Because of what Law and Crime did, she was forced to dismiss her own civil injunction. Somebody in the chat, please make that make sense. I beg of you. No, actually, from a different perspective, what Lauren could have done if she was really serious about the whole cyber stalking thing, what she could have done was used Law and Crime as a springboard, a vehicle, a vessel to carry the message to millions of people to bring awareness about what she thinks, in her opinion, and the judge who granted a civil TPO. You could have been the martyr for that. Again, absolutely. But for some reason, she looked at it through a jaded lens. She didn't see it as, I can actually use Law and Crime as this vehicle to carry my message. I don't have to do so much. Right? Lauren wouldn't even give her little boy a bracelet that one of the hidden gems gave her. He's an 8-year-old and wanted. Wow. We're going to get to all that, Atomic.
Because I am never, ever going to let my child's mental health be live streamed for entertainment.
This is the first timestamp, right? This other stuff was all just fluff, right? Let's move on down here. Right here. This one here. Handle these. Nice name. Why does your 8-year-old know about the trickle down of you sending bad, terrible, distasteful texts about the victims of murder and heinous crime, the trickle down to that is now all of a sudden a lady shares your text and now your son needs to know about it, right? Why? 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 You have 419,000 subscribers, I think. You should have a little thicker skin, right? I could ask my dad right now who's sitting on this porch, hey, Dad, are you worried about anything anyone on this internet could say? Are you scared for your life? He'd say, no, right? So I don't need to tell him. But let's go ahead. This is Jody Sue syndrome. Let's go ahead and make our minor children, and I hate that term, minor children. Children should be enough, right? You're going to make your child scared of what you want. She's not even actually scared of it, in my opinion, but now her son is, right? And that gives her purpose. She has a purpose now as someone who has exposed their children to something that, do we all think Christina is going to come around and do something to Lauren? I don't think that there is a ice cube chance in hell, right? But let's go ahead. Who is affecting her child's mental health? She is. Nobody else. She is. For her to say her child's mental health is going to be affected is to also assume that potentially her 8-year-old son may have watched Law and Crime if they streamed her hearing. We know that's not the truth, right? Have some restraint, Lauren. Let's not take this to the next level where you start pumping your kid full of SSRIs or SRIs because of something you're imagining on the YouTube. Log off. No, Sherry, especially things that have to do with the internet. Like this internet is, she thinks an awful lot about this Christine's capability to do harm to her. I think it's exactly the opposite, right? Christine is the one that created distance. She's the one that turned her back on Lauren initially. Not the other way around. It's not as if Lauren shunned Christina and now Christina's running back to the bowl trying to get fed. No. Christina turned her back on Lauren, and Lauren couldn't handle that. And she knew what was coming with that, right? Moving forward.
And I find it disgusting.
Now, Crystal, you have a good point, but I don't feel like she even has grounds for a lawsuit, and I'm up for a debate at some point. But if she can show this sort of mental distress, yeah, there's extra money that could be awarded for that, right? I agree with that.
Anyone would want to do that to me or my family, a civil stalking injunction.
I don't know if Christina has children, but imagine what the early stages of this, if she does, the kind of pressure that may have put on Christina's family, because Christina is actually navigating her way through a civil situation that there's criminal penalties for, right? For doing what? Telling the truth. She told the truth about this lady. She didn't lie. She told the truth about Lauren and then almost got rang through the gutter. Not too much different than the situation I navigated. It's when you turn your back on a situation and then there's a repercussion, right? Or you find out someone's doing something and then all of a sudden they you bring it to the forefront and there's a severe amount of embarrassment. Embarrassed people like to run to the police, right? Moving forward.
My 8-year-old's mental health is not your entertainment.
You just made it everyone's entertainment. Almost 450,000 people. You put your son out on display for public consumption. Let's be real about this, Lauren.
I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation and the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to.
So because she was forced to drop her own protection order, now she doesn't want to keep it private anymore. Make that make sense, right? Make that make sense. Oh, because I didn't get my way and I was going to get the publicizing that I want in most cases, but not this case. I don't want to keep it private anymore. What I actually want to do is FOIA everything available for it, and I want to put it on Front Street for the whole world to see. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back it up with a pre-recorded situation with your husband, and then kind of ignore it because the backlash is neck jarring. And now you're doing stuff about the little missing girl with the curly hair. Melody Buzzard, right? You've moved on, right? Oh, no, you're not going to go back and talk about this no more. But you're going to leave it there. 428,000 people. 11,000 comments. And a bunch of this didn't go the way she wanted. A whole bunch of that.
Keep it private. Not live stream to millions of people
Sherry.
watching Law and Crime.
Law and Crime. She wants to stream it to 500,000 people, though, on her own channel to get the money, right? Okay, fair enough.
And so,
absolutely.
If Law and Crime thinks that my family's pain and emotional turmoil is worthy to be on their channel, that
God forbid there be a real tear to mess that blush up. Moving forward,
they're going to be pool, which means they can share it to all media platforms. This is just for everybody.
She doesn't think that a portion of this or all of it has been moved to TikTok, Instagram. You could go anywhere, Reddit, you dig, BitChute, right? It's everywhere now, Lauren. Thanks to yourself.
Then I'm going to take
Casey K, for real though.
Back my narrative. And I'm going to own my narrative. And I'm going to tell you everything.
Boom. She's not going to keep it secret. She's going to tell you everything. Everything.
Tonight. We're going to go through every filing. We're going to go through a lot.
Thank you. No lie.
So get ready.
She's white. Baby.
My hand has been forced.
My hand has been forced. You know what that is? Let me tell you, look what you made me do to you, Christina. Christina, look what you made me do to you. That's abuser talk. When an abuser is standing over a victim and they're on the floor bruised up and battered, they're like, look what you made me do to you. Listen.
Get ready. My hand has been forced.
AKA, look what you made me do to you.
Very uncomfortable sitting here. But
girl, you beat your face for 2 hours to come out here and be very uncomfortable. Come on now. Flat irons your hair, drew them eyebrows on. You look very comfortable.
Reason and where I have found my bravery to do this is really, again, for my little boy.
Well, you can't blink that away. I'm going to tell you what.
Do you want to know a wrath of a mother?
No.
Here I am. Okay.
Thank you, Casey K.
And so we're going to begin. I need to collect my thoughts. I know it's
going to take her 9 hours to do that, and the help of Grayson. Grayson must be a blonde too. Grayson might be a true blonde though. This one here is just a dirty box blonde.
It's next, but really quickly, I have my producer Grayson here with me, helping me.
Thank you, Kaz.
Let me just ask you, you know, it's going to be a long live, so sit in. I might need a bathroom break at some point.
You might need a bath at some point. You're going to digest 2 meals in 9 hours. You're going to have to wash some of this sin off of you, Lauren. She's going to need a bath break. Lauren, Grayson, take over. I need to exfoliate. You're welcome, Auntie Sherry. You're welcome. I'm going to need a bath bomb and some rosé.
I haven't been able to eat. I'm not eating. So
I'm not eating. Oh, I just ate though. My tummy. I'm not eating, but look what you made me do to you. I'm going to say it one time. Just one time. It doesn't mean I'm going back to the old me. Look what you made me do to you, looking ass. Okay. Hey, Miss Bjarson. Say, baby.
I have root beer here for sugar high. I have my water. Really quickly, Grayson, do we want to start with what a civil stalking injunction is in you?
That's a fake out cup. Is that like pouring whiskey in a Coke can? Hoo-wee, baby. I'm gonna start crying a little bit. Look what you made me do to you, looking ass. You forced my hand, you made me do it. You can only blame you.
Utah or before? Okay. Okay. So let me share with everyone now.
Please
Do
don't.
you have that? Hold up. It's gonna be a really raw live. Get ready.
I'll tell you one thing she ain't hiding. It's them damn eyebrows. Holy cow. Hoo-wee. Damn. My eyebrows, they longer than I 35, baby.
So let's just go over stalking in.
Let's not go over any of this garbage because there actually a judge's remarks was that the boiled down version is that he saw no evidence to even go ahead with the permanent protection order. And in my opinion, I feel like she had an inkling, right? She knew it wasn't going to go well, and that she's using law and crime as the scapegoat, right? Like, oh, well, I had to dismiss it because law and crime. What do you mean? Do you mean that out of the 429,000 people that seen this on your own channel, maybe word won't get back to your son's school and he won't be ridiculed there for that? They didn't even see you on Law and Crime. What you talking about? You put this on your channel. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. Quine, Law and Crime. Okay. We've already covered that timestamp. Thank God. Okay, we're gonna move ahead to 546, baby. I don't know what it is, but I know that it's in there.
To share text, to share private texts that are off record, where I'm discussing this case for years, that is going to re-victimize victims. Things that they should never hear.
Okay, I know what this is right off the top. So she's upset that Christina has shared texts of her actually talking bad about Miss Woodcock, so on and so forth. The victims, right? The living victims and the dead victims. She's upset. She is just white woman mad because this woman, Christina, chose to share the text that exposed the real Lauren. That's wild work. That's wild work.
Going on behind the scenes. All I have done is defend them for years.
No, you didn't actually at all. In fact, if you wanted full disclosure and transparency, you wouldn't have struck Miss Crush's channel. Anywhere that they're telling the truth about her, oh boy, she finna tell a bit. She'll strike you down, baby. Let's see here. So apparently she's lost 2,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. She's had 1.3 million views in the last 30 days. She makes upwards of 5,000 a month, which I believe is way more than that. I think that this is a very subtle, but she makes, it says, at max capacity, she's making 122K a year. And I believe it's way more than that. Thank you so much for that, Case K. Lay it there. But yeah, it's interesting, right?
The victims of this case. I don't want them to know.
I bet you she makes $5,000 off of members, right? And then YouTube is now giving you $14.35 for every 1,000 views. So you do the math on 429,000 views. You're looking at, a fair share of bread, right? I can't see the chat, so forgive me. I'm not ignoring anybody.
Why I had to defend them. I don't want them to know things behind the scenes that are so icky in the podcast world that they have to see them.
She doesn't want them to see how icky she talks about them when they're going through the worst moments of their life. It's not as if she's talking to these people 5 years down the line and that the pain doesn't have such a sharp edge on it, right? She's talking about these people while she's sitting next to them in the courtroom, people. That's what she's doing. She's actually doing that. That's wild.
I care about the victims. They are my friends.
That didn't age well. Miss Woodcock actually said that, no, y'all ain't friends at all. That's what Miss Woodcock said, right? Moving forward, we're going to go to, we have 540. That's the one we just did. 546. Okay, 456. This is almost like the old days back with Ernie, right? I hope Ernie's doing well.
I also supervise doctoral students at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and have done so since 2007. I have evaluated over 500 criminals for the risk of recidivism and mental health problems, psychopathology related to criminality. I have been certified by the Utah Department of Corrections and the Utah Network of Juveniles Obtaining Safety to conduct forensic evaluations with both adult and juvenile offenders. I have been approved by the state of Nevada Parole and Probation to perform forensic evaluations and to work with juvenile and adult offenders in therapy groups. I have been certified by the federal courts as an expert in forensic work to perform forensic evaluations. I have received federal and state expert services contracts to perform forensic work and to conduct forensic evaluations. I have also led and conducted hundreds of therapy.
Is it me? Or is it just her eyebrows that makes her look like she's surprised this whole time? Like she's surprised.
Groups with hundreds of convicted felons since 1990.
I'm not sure what this timestamp is, but we're going to move to the next one, which is very interesting, right? Okay. Lauren has officially turned into John Madden, right? This is a play-by-play. Like this is some Madden 2K stuff, right?
The serving of the stalking injunction.
To even understand how this came to be, right? Like, I'm guessing she has asked the people at the bar if they had a camera, or maybe if someone else that thinks that Lauren's a big star is taking a picture, but also actually catches Christina in the photo as well. This is a public setting. She doesn't appear to be taking photos of Lauren at all. She, in fact, seems very engaged with this table, like she's a part of that party that seems to have more people partying than this one over here. Right? Now, 3:59 is what we're going to do here.
That day, knowing
this wasn't even a timestamp. 3:59:47. Okay. Stalker woman is triangulating. That brings me to another good point. AI describes or defines triangulation in relationships as a psychological dynamic where two people in conflict involve a third person to diffuse tension or avoid direct communication. While it may offer temporary relief, it is often a problematic communication problem that prevents genuine resolution and can cause long-term emotional distress for everyone involved. Now, one moment. One more. I can't see the chat. So now he right here. He's not acting in a husband. He's acting as her triangulation. Right here. This is not in the scope of husbandry. This is not in the scope of that. This is her actually using him as her attack dog. Hey, tell me I ain't right, and I'm gonna tell you that you're a liar. That's what she's doing right here. She's using, what's his name? Dr. John. Dr. John gets on there and talks about everything in his life that has ever happened to him that makes him feel ineffectual, right? Get over it. All right. Going back here. This is very interesting because this lady is somebody, okay? This lady is really somebody right here.
Not recruit other people. She has the stalking injunction. Here, let's listen to Lori tell us.
The next thing that happens is that one of the former friends starts making some TikTok videos. And on those TikTok videos, she's talking about the former friend, the former friendship, and she does at one point use the creator's voice. Posts a snippet.
Is that not harassing all in and of itself? Calling someone who has not been deemed to be a stalker by a court, but also posting it, tagging it right here, right? It'd be the same. Lauren could probably say, oh, Benny Keys is harassing me if one of you guys made a colorful comment about, let's say we referred to Lauren as a drama queen liar. Let's just suppose for a moment, right? She would find it very harassing, right? And digitally abusive if I pinned that, right? You absolutely know she would. 100%.
And so when I get to CrimeCon, I'm told that this creator has now filed a stalking order against one of the women in her former friend group. And on Friday morning, when everybody is just launching into, or I guess it started.
And meanwhile, Lauren's over here looking like she eats her Achilles off the bone. Look at her. She is really shown who she actually is, who she's been hiding for all this time.
At noon, I think, on Friday. This group is met by local police who tell this person that
You can stop
she can't go to CrimeCon because there's a stalking order and Lauren is attending. Sorry, the creator is attending.
Look, she told Grayson to stop it right there, and Grayson's like, oh, no, we're just going to let this run out a little bit.
So she gets 86th out of CrimeCon, even though she bought a ticket just like everybody else and just like the creator did.
So actually what could happen is that Christina could turn around and sue Laura for emotional distress, the price of her trip to Colorado, her ticket to Crime Con, any meals or incidentals associated to that, right? She could get her for the plane ticket, hotel money, all of the things, right? All of the things. Christina can actually, and I think that in the coming weeks and months, you might want to look out for that, right? I don't think that Christina is going to take this laying down that she was made to appear to be a stalker, right? Understanding that the threshold for you do not, right? And this is, if you know, right? If you know, civil injunction for stalking is the same as the probable cause for that is the same in the criminal world. You need 2 instances, right? It could be 2 instances of harassment that now equal 1 stalking, or it could be 2 stalkings that now constitutes meeting the burden for probable cause, right? So essentially all you would have to do is meet a very low threshold, right? Understanding that if it goes criminal, the indictment is the lowest form of proof. A criminal indictment handed down by a grand jury in the criminal world is the lowest form of proof. That's why so many indictments get overturned, yada, yada, yada. However, all you have to do is go on. You could call her at 2 a.m. and say, hey, Lauren, you're a dumb B. Hang up. Call her the next night. Hey, Lauren, you're a dumb B. Now you've met the threshold for stalking. 2 harassments create a stalking. Okay. You don't have to drive by somebody's house. You don't have to drive. And if you know, you don't have to drive by somebody's job. You don't have to do any of that. This person just has to feel harassed. You don't have to physically threaten them. You're not saying anything physically distasteful. You can just merely call them up and say, hey, you're a dumb B. Click. And there's going to be a detective or there's going to be a civil judge out there somewhere that's going to pick that up. Right? Cinnamon. Great point. There are many people in this world who use these laws to their advantage when they are embarrassed about something in their personal life. Lauren is one. She's embarrassed. If you know, you know. She's embarrassed about her personal goings-ons. They're public now, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to run to the police and because this appears to have met the threshold, now we're going to push for this, when in all actuality, it's not. Moving forward.
Now, this creator does not have a booth, is not presenting, is not a speaker, is in no way associated with CrimeCon. She's just there as an attendee.
And look at Lauren this whole time. She is seething. She is seething. She is has zero self-awareness about actually what she looks like. She is seething.
The same way as everybody else. But she manages to get a stalking order. And the stalking order not only keeps her former friend, but anybody who associates with her former friend. So for the rest of crime.
Right, Miss Sherry? So then imagine she's capable of getting a detective or a judge to look at other cases, and that you have more than one situation going on, and then you're forced into, I don't know, like a plea deal that's not in your best interest, right? Just because the origin of the issue is embarrassment. Lauren is embarrassed about her personal life, things going on in her personal life. And she's going to bring the police into this person's life.
CrimeCon, the local police are patrolling CrimeCon to make sure
I'm out
that
there.
the creator isn't stalked.
Absolutely, Crispy. That's the thing. She knew that Christina had these messages. And I don't know why she felt like she wasn't going to pull like Christina wasn't going to pull her card, right? And say, "You know what? You want to act wild? Let me just go." You know what? She was probably trying to get those things suppressed. That's my opinion. She was trying to probably go down the trail of getting these messages suppressed from even being read in open court, right? Although it got to that point where you understand that if you suppress the thing that created the fire, a judge is not going to let that happen. No, he's not going to suppress these things. He's going to let them be read in open court. In fact, the judge, she'll say way later on, she'll say how appalled she is that the judge, like, she had no way of knowing who filed for media access. Right? The judge did it in such a way where it was anonymity involved. And she was so displaced by that. And in fact, she went on to say, "I have never seen such a thing in all my life." That's the judge on the side of freedom of press, freedom of speech. This lady is essentially trying to breach Christina's civil rights and the amendments that we all enjoy here in America, right? Kaz, Ben, B-N, Lynn, there you go. Thank you, KSK.
And everybody else in the place is looking over their shoulder.
Correct, Crispy. The issue with that is okay, yeah, so Christina knows how to make fake messages. Big whoop. Cellular data, she's going to have to provide all of the cellular stuff in between her and Christina, as well as Christina would too. And the ideal is that they're going to be a mirror image of one another. Lauren's digital footprint better look exactly like Christina's digital footprint, or else you know that she has done something fishy. It doesn't matter if every message that Christina has ever had in her whole life, she faked it, but the ones with her are real. This isn't the actions of someone who has had fake messages made about her. All she's doing is throwing it out there as smoke and mirrors. That's all Lauren is doing. She knows that every single message where she's bashing and re-victimizing victims without them knowing, she knows those are real. That's what all this whole orchestration is about, right? It means nothing in the whole ball of wax that Christina knows how to make fake messages. So what? She knows how to make fake messages. But she also knows how to screenshot and share real messages. That's what this is about. This whole I'm appalled, this whole Karen white lady stuff here, this has nothing to do with fake messages. Her behavior shows you that.
Thinking, oh my gosh, are the police going to think that that I have to be thrown out because I was friendly to this other person? So on Saturday night,
absolutely, Mom Bear,
we're all sitting around in the bar, and the police come up and say to this person, "You have to leave the bar because the creator's associate, not the creator, her minion, walked through the bar, and you can't be in the same room with her."
Absolutely, Atomic.
So
no,
she got not the creator, not the minion.
100%. She's trying to. It's her constitutional right to be able to say within reason, without being terroristically threatening, to defame her or libel her. She can say whatever she wants, especially when it's the truth. If anything that Christina exposed to the internet was fraudulent in any way, then guess what? Lauren, would be able to go sue Christina for putting out fake texts. but that's never going to be the case.
But the former friend had to leave.
Dr. Behave.
And this is it's just getting out of hand. Now she's using the police to harass other people.
And there you go. And you know what? If this person didn't have a wrench and was a member, I would say this comment was actually directed towards her. Moving forward.
And she's using the legal system in a way it was never intended to harass people.
Absolutely.
She's using the fact that her brother is a lawyer, and having him do a bunch of work for her. And the bottom line is, it's just wrong.
On so many levels. And we'll get to the brother here in a little bit, because I have an opinion about that as well.
I haven't talked to Lori Hellis in years.
I bet there's a reason for that too, Lauren. I bet there's a real reason. Maybe it's the smug mug you wear on your shoulders every single day. That's the reason why. Right? I don't know this lady from a can of paint. I don't, and I'm also not going to lead you people to be so naive to think that she's a bad person. She's probably a great mother. She's an excellent provider for her family, right? I think that she has had moments where she shined in a light that is very hard to recreate, right? However, the measure of a man or a woman, their character, is when they're down in the dirt and how they rise from that. That's the measure. It's not how great you danced when the lights were on. It's how you dug yourself out of the hole in the dark. That's the measure, right? There is an old saying. You can only measure a man or a woman, but it goes, you can only, and I've said it 100 times if I've said it once, you can only measure a man's highs by the depths of his lows, right? So maybe what this means in all actuality, and I'm giving her the lead right now by saying, potentially we're going to see Lauren rise like a phoenix. But meanwhile, while she's down in the dirt, right, we're going to talk about what she's giving us to look at, and what the boiled down element of all of this is, the nucleus of all of this is that she has been talking bad about victims that she's getting paid to sit next to and act friendly with. That's it right there. That's the nucleus of all of this.
She hasn't reached out to me. I don't know what she's been told.
Sounds like the truth. By the look on your face, it sounds like the truth. And let me be very clear, right from Jump Street, I would love nothing more. I love a good comeback story. I love the underdog, because I've been the underdog many times in life. I would love nothing more than to see Lauren rise from the ashes and become the person that we all thought or think she was or can be in the past. Not this version of Lauren, right? Not this version, but the version that we all want her to be. Because guess what? The things that I've navigated in the person that I've been in the past, this YouTube was waiting for me to come here and be the best version of me that I could be. There's nothing different for Lauren. That same thing is available for Lauren. Hey, Independent, good to see you, baby. With her photo, something interesting. Okay, let me play this.
I don't know why she did that. I'm already afraid for my safety. Very, very afraid. She has,
and that is going to be the synonymous theme throughout this, is that anytime a colleague or someone has something to say about the situation, she throws in how scared she is for her physical well-being and that of her family, right? You live in Nevada, right? Sure, you have guns in the house. If not, get you one. What can little Christina do to a 45 caliber? She can't do nothing. She ain't going to karate chop or live stream or TikTok herself being shot down by you if she's doing the wrong thing, right? Like, come on, let's be real here. Let me see what we got here. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, thank you for that, Kaz. Yikes. Hey, that YouTube money will do something to you. It'll get in your mind. It'll get in your cheeks. It'll get in your lips, your chin. Yeah. But at least this is the difference. I bet, unlike Molly Golightly, she's not running around selling pictures of this when she looks like this. I think she's a very attractive woman. However, Molly Golightly will sell you pictures of this when she looks like this, right? Moving forward. No, woe is me. Let me tell you this. If the author lady here, if she would have been pro Lauren, she would be screaming her praises, and she would not be fearful for her life based upon the author lady's public testimony of the situation. Right? This is being the perpetual victim. Right? Now, what I want to do is I want to do a little vocab. Google AI defines gaslighting as a form of psychological manipulation where a person makes another question their own reality, memories, and sanity through persistent denial, misdirection, and lies. It is a tactic used to gain power and control, causing the victim to become confused, anxious, and dependent on the abuser. This can involve accusing you of being overly emotional or crazy, and it often leads to emotional and psychological abuse, aka calling someone who isn't a stalker in front of 429,000 people. 429,000 people. Moving forward. I think we should give you another shot at it because this ain't it. Take another run at it. take just one more run at it. And actually, this is actually the exact spot I have another timestamp. So let's see what's going on. Oh. She's trying to do the right thing, but no one will let her. No one. Do you know what no one means? No one means everybody minus the exception of even just one. No one is all, right? All is all of it. All the sums of all the parts. No one. What you should say is it feels like almost no one. When you say no one, it's to infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear. It means without the exception of even just one person, no one is giving her the right or the ability to do the right thing, right? So what that means is because no one is giving me the right to do the right thing, I'm going to do all of this that you're going to see now, right? Or that you're witnessing. Because no one will allow me to do the right thing, I'm going to do this to you. That's abuser talk, right? Now, let's move on forward to the next one. Oh, this one was just a screenshot of the comments where Handle These 1963 makes a beautiful point with 130 likes saying, why is an 8-year-old aware of all of this adult drama? Why? How? If you could sit down and just let your imagination run wild for a minute, I bet it wouldn't be so wild if you're trying to imagine what the conversation between Lauren, her husband, Dr. Babe, and the 8-year-old is like. Oh boy, mommy really has us in a jam now, 8-year-old. But not to worry. She's not going to quit doing this at all. She's just going to gloss over this. And, you know, in about, I don't know, the length of this live stream, everything is going to be just fine. Everything is going to be perfect. And how do you know, Benny? Well, I saw Christina being served by two Aurora, Colorado police on the floor crying. She does not seem like a violent physical aggressor whatsoever. And the fact that Lauren played that in at all, to me, it completely diminished Christina's violent look to the whole world. This lady is on her knees on the floor crying, going in her purse, looking for her ID. That is not the behavior, actually crying, right? Not this stuff here, but the real stuff, right? Where it falls from your face and your nose gets snotty and all of that. Like, at some point, she can derive those things in this live stream. However, the little girl on the little woman on the floor rummaging through her bag in the middle of CrimeCon or wherever she was, crying because she's being served and she doesn't know what's going on, definitely did not look aggressive and violent to me. Moving forward. Yeah. So let's go to 409. Guess what? The whole economy, the economy will absolutely decimate all your hopes and dreams. It'll take your home from you. It'll have you on the street, children eating out of trash cans. But I bet you can't file no civil injunction on how you feel. Clearly, this is not that, and that is not this, right? There is a real limit, right? You got to have money to even think this way. Somebody that don't have financial means, they don't sit around thinking this way. They got bills to pay and they got this and that, and the bills don't sleep when you do. You're going to run your car maybe 20 minutes. Most of us, we run our car less than a half hour a day, but it's charging you for 24 hours a day insurance. Same with a car payment, house payment, yada, yada, yada. If you're at the office for 12 hours a day and you sleep for 8, what does that mean? You get to enjoy your home for 4 hours a day while you paying $1,300, $1,500, $2,000 a month for it. Moving forward. Oh, no audio? Hold on. Yeah, and there's a oops, hold on. Yep, there is a signal here telling me there is no audio. Hold on one second. Sorry for that.
The following paragraphs describe in detail the respondent's actions and their continuing effect.
This goes into her wanting the civil injunction behind how it makes her feel emotionally, right? Outside of being scared for her physical well-being.
My emotional well-being, professional life, and personal sense of security. The respondent's actions have not only disrupted my peace of mind, but have also risen to the level of an existential threat to my life, my livelihood, and my family. I have felt as though every aspect of my safety and stability is under attack. This includes the ability to work without fear, to protect and provide for my family, and to live with even the basic sense of security.
Now, she's going to tell you that she fears that she cannot provide for her family. Meanwhile, one day ago, she did this, right? Nothing more on the live stream front, right? But here's her well-being in action, right? Ripped the Band-Aid right off and went back to it, right? moving forward.
The respondent's behavior has forced me to question whether I can continue in my profession without ongoing harassment, and has strained my most important relationships, and has placed
her even just pinning the comment, the stalker lady is doing triangulation. Do you feel like Christina thinks that that is harassment? What's good for the goose, right? Okay.
constant cloud of fear over my daily existence. The respondent's actions have not been a series of minor inconveniences, but rather an ongoing and relentless campaign that has profoundly threatened my well-being and sense of safety. Additionally, not only has it threatened my sense of physical safety, but at times it has made me question continuing to live.
Ideation. She talks about ideation, which is self-harm ideation, right? Nothing screams ideation like just going right along with the YouTube channel, right? Now, I can't sit here and tell you that this woman hasn't thought of self-harm. What I can say is that in the context of this argument, it seems like added fuel for a fire she wants to start an inferno with, right? Again, I can't say that she's not having ideation. I cannot. She very well may. Although what we can point out is that all of the pointers point towards maybe not so much, right? So now she's scared for her safety, physical well-being, emotional well-being, financial well-being. She's not eating, and she's having self-harm ideation. But she still hasn't logged off yet. Moving forward.
And it has taken such a toll on my mental state. Absolutely. Up until 2025, I have never questioned that before. This has felt like a...
Not even when her brother had a tragic ATV accident in March of 2023 and then died 2 years later due to complications in March of 2025, she never had ideation through that point. Only when somebody on YouTube told the truth about her, now she's having ideations. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a digital issue. This is not a fleshy, physical, in my Nikes issue or in my car issue. No ideation for tragedy, right? Which I think that probably a number of people here right now could honestly say, you know what? I faced a tragedy. I know I have in the last 3 years. Faced a tragedy and felt like, you know what? I just can't do it anymore. Not a cyber tragedy. Not because someone's telling the truth about me. Now I'm feeling self-harmy. Mama Bear. And we're going to get to a little bit of that, right? But yeah, right? And so she's going to pull out note every stop. Every stop she's going to pull it out, right? Everything is just an agitator to really cloud your mind and gloss over the fact that and guess what? The nucleus isn't going to change. No matter how much of this adjective-filled nonsense you hear, it's all to take your mind away from the fact that Christina shared the fact that Lauren is re-victimizing victims that she sits with in court, makes money off of their stories, and laughs behind their back, makes jokes about them. Wow. Me too, Casey.
Complete nightmare that I cannot wake up from, no matter how hard I've tried. It feels as if every day there's new information about things the respondent has done and people in my life that she has contacted as part of this relentless campaign. The respondent has attacked me from all angles. Myself, my husband, my business. the relationships that I've built throughout my career, my employee, and even my baby brother who tragically died just a month prior to her beginning all of this. She has proven that there is nothing off limits when it comes to her campaign to destroy me, stalk me, and harass me. This can be proven by some of the captions on the respondents' posts and comments that she has made and or engaged with on the social media accounts that she has created to target me. A particularly egregious example is the respondent's July 7th post. We have that exhibit. We won't need to show it, but we have it. The cover text for that video reads, "Point of view. You saw the red flags and you thought, wow, what a passionate color palette," followed by spilling some tea.
Now, I'm thinking that this is about to get into the claims, or the opinion rather, of a situation having to do with her brother while he was incapacitated, right?
And then her brother's sperm.
There we go. Now, it appears that Christina is of the opinion that, I don't know that I necessarily agree with Christina all the way. Let me say that right now. But what I will say is that she has, in the context of all of this, has a point, right? Let's run this a little bit.
And concluding with, "without his consent." Part of the caption reads, "How could she do that without his consent is beyond me."
Oh, we got no audio, right? No audio? Let me... Stacey Wandra arrested and charged for the murder of Michael Vaughn per Brandy. Oh, if that's true, that's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful. And that deserves its own situation, because Stacey Wandra, there's a special place in hell for him. And she called it. It just took a little bit longer. Okay.
Spilling some tea. And then her brother's sent. Just months after I held his hair in discussions about sperm preservation for a catastrophic ATV accident in March of 2023. And before he died, in March of 2025, there were medical discussions about sperm preservation. I had mentioned the possibility of that to the respondent at one point. However, there was never any intent or allegation of sexual assault in those medical conversations, nor were there any other conversation details shared with the respondent.
Now, I don't know all of the ins and outs of her brother and his sexual relations with whomever. I don't know if he was married, if he was wanting kids, whatever. What I will show you is this. I asked Google, how is semen obtained from someone in a coma? Semen is obtained from a person in a coma through medically assisted methods such as penile vibratory stimulation, electroejaculation, or surgical sperm retrieval procedures. These methods are typically performed by urologists or other trained medical professionals in a clinical setting. Penile vibratory stimulation. This is often the first and least invasive method attempted in patients with certain neurological conditions, such as spinal cord injuries, etc., as it can trigger ejaculation via an involuntary reflex. A special vibratory device is placed on the head of the penis to induce ejaculation. Meanwhile, this person is out of it, not coming back, and we're going to perform something like this for, Lauren is the one talking about it, and she's talking about it with YouTube people, right? She's discussing obtaining samples of her brother's semen with YouTube people. She doesn't, if you let her tell it, doesn't really have a lot of interaction with consistently, right? So just like in random passing, she wants to talk about having... Oh, nice. Turn the page. Yeah, I see that a bunch of people left, so there's stuff going on. So yes, I think, in my opinion, to obtain semen from someone who is incapacitated or in a coma, I feel like that's ethically a little out there. Now, I'm assuming that Lauren, even thinking that way, her brother must have had a wife or something, right? So potentially the wife wants to continue on the legacy with some of her husband's semen. I get it, right? I'm totally, I get it, right? However, someone in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, right? Right. Frilly Farmhouse. No, I guess my point is does anyone know if he was married? Because if he wasn't married, that opens up a whole nother set of doors, right? So Lauren is thinking about obtaining semen so that no wife is, there you go. So what is Lauren going to do? Is she going to shop for a girlfriend for her dead brother to put his semen into? You have to make that make sense. There's no why, and I felt like that was the context of it all, but she never says that. He's single. There's no woman in the play. He's there. He's going to die. They're going to obtain his semen, and who is going to find a woman to put it into? Somebody explain that to me. Make that make sense, right? That's why I clipped, or why I got that timestamp. That is, to some degree, so unethical, you can't even start to understand it. You cannot. Absolutely, it is beyond the scope of anything understandable. All the way. Right? Like you cannot make it make sense. Period. Right? Like there's no woman, and you want semen to put in a woman yet to be determined. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Anyways, that's essentially, that's about it. I just, that's probably as good a place to, I don't know, right? That in and of itself is just so wild to me, right? Like, and that also it's further proof of theory that my context skills are on point, right? Because I'm like, yeah, no, there's a reason why this lady finds this to be so egregious, and it's not because the wife of the brother, there is no wife. He's single. He wrecks the four-wheeler. She's even got it on her mind to collect a sample, to find someone later on in life. Like, hey, I wanna put you on a blind date with my brother. However, he died on a three-wheeler accident in March of 2025. Want to have a kid? Right? Like, make that make sense. You cannot. You cannot. Well, Cinnamon, I think that would, I would sure hope not, right? Like, make that make sense, right? I don't even know how she could successfully carry a child that's got this, it'd be the product of incest, right? I mean, maybe they can do it. I don't know. You run into looking like the Whitakers or something, I mean, no shade, no fun poked, but that's the result of, what was it, first cousins or something? Imagine a brother and a sister. Like, you got a whole nother dynamic there. So anyways, that's really all, that's just kind of it went pretty chronological, I guess. I did a little jumping back and forth, but I always knew that I was going to stop right there because that really tells me all I need to know about the situation. Yeah, what about the child? Like, who supports it? This child, I mean, this child grows up without a dad, and this legacy, and it's, got all these moving parts involved in it, and it's just a bloody nightmare. It's a nightmare. So thank you. Turn the page. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. And I know it appears there's a lot jumping off in the community right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, and I am going to get caught up like the rest of you. I do, on the way out, I want to thank Beth for her contribution to the channel. I don't know if you're still around, Beth, but I hope you know it means the world to me. I truly do. Again, I think in closing, what I want to say is that I hope that Lauren can salvage her dignity out of this situation, because I just glossing over it, hour and a half pre-recorded video with Dr. Babe, and then the Duty Ron situation, like, that's not enough. Like, you owe this community that you've probably made millions of dollars off of. Like, you owe this community a real, genuine response, right? Like, you don't need Grayson to help you put it together. All of it just seems so superficial. Like, handle your business or else move on in life, right? Anyways, I love all of y'all individually. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the absence. It's not the evidence of absence. And prayers for Brandy and little Michael. And let's hope that justice is served and that Stacey Wander goes where all dogs go, baby. Bye-bye.